In studio with us is Dymphna, the art director and also an artist curator of Inner Joy Art Gallery. Dymphna, it's good to have you in Boratsani.
Good to be here as well, Adele. Thank you so much for the invitation.
You're welcome. Dymphna, can we start a little bit about, sharing about yourself to our audience and our listeners?
Okay, I come from Sabah. I'm a Kadazan native, and although a lot of people confuse me for Chinese, but I'm actually a Kadazan native, and I actually I didn't study art formally. I studied law, and I was in practice as an employment law lawyer for a few years before I rekindled with my passion in art.
Oh.
Yeah, then I was doing both hybrid in art and law for a while until 2019 when I opened the gallery, Inner Joy Art Gallery. Then I decided to just focus in art. Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
basically that's how it began.
I see. So, what is the reason that you are willing to just embark and leave your job and embark on this journey?
I guess after a few years in practice, of course, being a lawyer was always like my ambition as well when I was a kid. Like one of the cita-cita, what's your cita-cita when young?
Yeah.
So I thought, lawyer, always want to be a lawyer. But art has always been there. I love art since I was a kid. I love to draw.
I see.
But at that time, my mindset was art would be a hobby for me. But the reality was when I was in practice, I hardly have time for art. Then, of course, there'll be times like when I'm stressed, I would draw and I would take down notes with doodles and all that. Then I realized that when I do art, it makes me happier lah. Yeah, when I was doing law, happy but stressed as well. And then after many years, about 6 to 8 years, I asked myself, is this really what I want to do in the long term? Then I look at my other colleagues and their lifestyle at that time. Then I told myself, I think there's a better way to live this life.
Yeah.
At least for me lah. Yeah, not not for the other lawyers, but it's for me. And then I started my exploration journey lah. Yeah. So that's how it began.
Yeah, that's good to know. Your art style is about abstract, floral, and portrait. Can you share a little bit about this?
Okay, when I also started to rekindle with my love for art, I drew. I used to draw and doodle a lot, but I haven't actually started with painting. So when I started with acrylic painting, naturally abstract was the easiest for me to express myself.
Yeah.
With all the stress and things to express, like all the paint, the colors. I fall in love with colors.
Free flow of
Yes,
art,
free flow and intuitive. I think at that time I resonate the most with intuitive art. It's like everything comes from intuition and feeling, then more to abstract, and then slowly the floral images came about. But it's not like the realistic flowers. It's still like abstract. But people identify that as flowers. Yeah. So that's how the term abstract floral came about as well. Yeah.
That is quite an interesting concept.
Yeah. And I love flowers and I love colors.
Yeah.
And that's how they sort of merge lah. Yeah. And for portrait, only starting last year, I actually explore portrait because I engaged an art mentor. I was at the stage where I feel, again, I was at the stage I felt, okay, what's next? Yeah, what else can I do with this art? Yeah, so I engaged an art mentor and I realized that, I love portrait as well. So I'm exploring that and I'm doing more portrait of human and animals now because I also love animals. Yeah, so that's how my art style evolved lah.
Yeah, I think, the lifestyle of us artists, that you need to continue evolving, continue exploring, experimenting, because you cannot be fixed to just one pattern.
Yes.
I think the more you explore, the more you will discover what you can do. Right?
Yes.
Our discussion today is about art curator as the storyteller. The reason why I picked this title, because I think it resonates with you, so that you can come to Boratsani and share about this topic. I know that art curator plays a crucial role in shaping the narrative around artworks in an exhibition. So I think curating is just not about selecting pieces to display, but I think the art curator has a pivotal role, a vital role to to know which art goes where, and to need to have a storytelling so that it could relate to the audiences, right? So my question to you, how do you begin the curation or curatorial process for a new exhibition?
Very interesting
Ah,
question.
yes.
Yeah. Because in the beginning, I also was under the impression that, oh, art curator just select artworks and put it on the wall.
Yeah.
But no, it really began with the discussion itself with the artist,
I
either
see.
group of artists or individual artists for solo exhibition. So it can really start as early as 1 year to a few months before the exhibition. Yeah, especially for solo, the artist has to come up with a lot of artworks just for one show. So that has to be at least 1 year before. That's where the curation begins. Usually what I do is I will have discussion with the artists on what are their aims, what do they want to achieve, do they have a specific theme in mind. So artists that know what they want, it's easier to work with them. Because they already have a concept. So I was like, okay, great. If you have the concept, then we start to visualize. Okay, this is the gallery space. The walls are like this. Of course, there are some parts that are movable. But once we can visualize already, then both of us can have an idea as to how many pieces of artworks, the shapes, the sizes, and roughly the theme. We might not have the specific wording yet, but the rough concept. So that's where the curation process begin lah. That's for solo. For group, usually it would be helpful if there's an idea already. Like usually there will be one or two main spokesperson for a group. And then if they have an idea, they will come up and say, I have this idea where I want to showcase like, I think a few years ago we have about Fable, about some magical, mysterious concept. So like, oh, okay, that's great. So that artist and another friend go and discuss with me about the concept and gather other artists as well to form and to really materialize, make this imagination and visualization come into life lah.
Yeah, so the estimation and the pre-planning process is quite important in the beginning of
Yes,
the
very
stage.
important actually. Yeah.
Okay.
There are also times when it was me that come up with the concept. Just like artists, when we want to create something, we have an inspiration. Then we're like, hey, it'd be great if we can have this concept for an exhibition. For example, there was one time I read somewhere I was inspired to have an exhibition that create mental health awareness. So I started to form the theme and the concept, and then I started to look for artists that can fit into this theme. Yeah, so that's another method where the curation process can start. Yeah, but it all really starts with the discussion and the visualization.
So Dymphna, my next question to you is that how do you decide which artists or artwork to include in an exhibition show? Meaning the selection process. How do you go about doing it?
Okay, the selection process in the beginning, when the gallery first opened in 2019, I went with artists that I have worked with before. As an artist myself, I have exhibited in a few other exhibitions, and I know there are some group of artists that I can work with together, and we have exhibited together a few times. So I chose them to exhibit in the gallery first. Then after that, it just naturally evolved to artists recommended other artists that they know that they have worked with. And then I look at their artworks like, oh, okay, seems like it can fit into the concept that we have in mind. Then I will invite those artists as well. And as the gallery grow, there are artists that send in their portfolio as well. And I realized that there are a lot of artists in Malaysia, but not that many gallery opportunities for them to exhibit. Yeah.
Yeah, actually there's a lot of emerging artists who are very much talented in Malaysia.
Yeah, a lot of talent. So when I receive the portfolio, I will go through, and if it seems that they have something interesting about their art and themselves, I will invite them for like a discussion and like maybe in the corporate world there's an interview, but for me it's just like a discussion and sharing to get to
Yeah.
know each other more.
All right.
Then I'll ask more about their artwork, their concept, what visions do they have.
Mm-hmm.
Then if it resonates with me and the gallery and how we do works in the gallery, then I will invite them for future exhibitions. So
Yeah.
that's how they're selected lah.
I think that is quite a fair and just process, that fairness, that everyone is given a chance,
Yes, correct.
to go through this interview,
Yes.
to be selected. So
Yes.
instead of just picking them just because you like them, just because
no
you
lah.
know them.
Yeah.
So I think this is quite a good way
Yes.
of being fair to all the
Yeah,
artists.
trying to be fair to all as well.
Yeah.
lah. Mm.
Another interesting question that I want to ask you. In a world with increasing digital engagement, how do you ensure that physical exhibition remains meaningful or brings the validity? Because, digital, it keep increasing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the increase in digital art and the digital world exposure, I see it as a very good thing because we are exposed more to art worldwide, and we can also be easily exposed to
Yeah.
worldwide audience as well. And what I love about like merging these two, digital and physical, is artworks that have meaning. That's why I love artworks and artists that have stories to tell. So what are your stories? So when I hear the stories and it's something very meaningful, like there's one artist that came to me before this. She wanted to have an exhibition dedicated to her mother. So she told me the reason why. She said she's worried that, the mother might go before she can actually prove herself to her mother. So things like this, like, there's this meaningful stories to tell. So this kind of meaning can only be experienced when we look at the artwork physically.
Yeah.
That's why I feel, and the upcoming one as well is a special one about Peranakan beading works. So those kind of artworks in digital format, we can just see flat work photos.
Yeah.
But when they come to the exhibition, they would be able to experience the beads themselves. And when the lights in the gallery hit the beads, how the light reflects, and they would be able to touch the beads as well. We have the section where people can touch. So that's the thing that digital world can't experience.
I have to agree with that, because I think physical exhibition, you get to experience the sensory experiences, right? And also you also engage in active participation, that artists can come together and that there is a community there.
Correct.
So that we can share and we can share ideas.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that is good, because physical exhibition also gives opportunities.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. My next question to you. How do you stay informed about emerging trends and shifts in the art world? As an art curator, I'm sure you need to do a lot of study, research, to know what is going on in the world, because it keeps evolving very fast and very speedily. So how do you keep up with that?
Okay. This part, I would have to thank the digital world. Yeah.
Easy access.
Yes, correct. Very easy access. I love reading. By nature, I love reading.
Yeah.
So I also read a lot online articles, and I also follow Instagram, the galleries in Instagram, overseas galleries, and I follow podcasts as well. So when I'm driving, I love listening to podcasts from galleries overseas and artists overseas, how they do things. And I also subscribe to one platform where they have they send newsletters, and these newsletters, they're very active in the artist community worldwide, and they actually do research and surveys, and they will produce statistic every year as to the type of works, the trends, the type of works that collectors buy. So I find that very interesting, just to compare on what are the trends and what are the, like, how's the market like, for example. So that's how I just in a way stay up to date, but it's also because it's a natural interest, so it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah. I think it's a good way to keep up, right? We have come to end of our discussion. My next question to you is that over the years, what is your challenge, the biggest challenge that you face as an art curator?
Okay, as an art curator, I would say the biggest challenge, actually there are a lot, but okay, the biggest would be uh deadlines lah. Yeah, artists
Ah.
and deadlines. That would be the biggest.
Seriously.
Yes, artists and deadlines. As an artist myself, I understand that a lot of artists love to work based on feelings.
Yeah.
Yes, we love.
Based on mood and
Yes, correct.
inspiration.
I see.
Yeah.
When I have the feeling, then I paint. But in reality, when there are deadlines, then you cannot just, oh, if I don't feel like it, then I don't want to paint. Then
Uh-huh.
I don't join the exhibition, lah, although deadline is coming up. So we did face artists like that who pull out last minute because uh, something came up or just no mood to paint. Yeah, there'll be
Understandable.
excuses
Yeah.
and all that lah. But I understand artists would have their own personal challenges as well. But there are also artists that they will still produce the works. It's just that the deadline would be postponed. So for example, that okay, submission of artwork would be on this date, but on that date, usually they will postpone or they will submit half first and then after that or another half later. These are the things that, yeah, we can all work with together. And I also learned that, okay, if the personality or the trend among artists is like this, then we put the deadline even earlier. Yeah. So at least we still have more time to leverage to prepare for the exhibition. But at the same time, it really affects the curation process because
So you got to speed up on it.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to rush things, and it's not a nice feeling when we have to rush things, lah.
Yeah.
Although, of course, as an artist as well, it's a very exciting thing to work under the adrenaline rush. Yeah, but it's better if the deadlines are like followed consistently, lah.
Dymphna, my last question to you is, do you think you're a good storyteller?
Not so sure. Maybe through the exhibition, yes, but through the exhibition, that's what
The feedbacks and the reviews that you get.
maybe, yes, yeah.
From the
maybe, yeah,
audiences,
from the
yeah.
audience, yes.
Yeah.
I love it when people came to the gallery and they told me they really enjoyed the exhibition and like there's an exhibition. So when they come in, they straight away feel like, wow, they can already see this is the concept is about this.
So you
Yeah.
are a good storyteller.
I guess so lah. Thank you.
Okay, my last question to you, I think very last. What is your future plans or projects that you like to share with us?
Future plan for the gallery is to right now I feel we're still also in the process because MCO 2020 was there was also another challenge back then at MCO 2020 until I think we took about 3 years to really recuperate from all that. So right now the gallery is at the stage where we are stabilizing the processes. Yeah, so for future plan moving forward, I hope that with this stability, we can host more exhibitions more consistently, and we can give opportunities to more artists in more consistently and timely view. And there is this vision to bring the galleries internationally as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
But I'm not rushing that. I just want things to grow organically and naturally. Yeah, and then we'll see how it goes lah.
Dymphna, it has been a fruitful discussion. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights and wisdom with us. And thank you for coming to Borat Seni.
Thank you so much, Adele. Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
having me, and thank you for inviting me to this Borak Seni as well. I really enjoy watching your videos in Instagram and Facebook
Thank you,
and
thank
listening to
you.
the podcast. So it's an honor to actually be invited here. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.